Tonight's campfire conversation begins with a meme. You may have seen it floating around the internet. A shiny electric car sits parked peacefully under a tree. The caption says something like this: "People buy electric cars to save the planet." And then the planet drops a tree on the car. It is a dark joke, but it makes people laugh because of the irony. Human beings often try to fix problems, only to discover the solutions are more complicated than we expected. Electric vehicles are a perfect example. Companies around the world promote electric cars as a way to reduce carbon emissions and help protect the environment. And in many ways, electric vehicles really do reduce pollution compared to traditional gasoline engines. They produce no exhaust emissions while driving. They are quieter, and they can reduce urban air pollution. But the full story is more complicated than the meme. Because while electric cars may produce less pollution on the road, the manufacturing process can have significant environmental costs. Electric vehicle batteries require large amounts of minerals such as lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Mining these materials can disturb ecosystems and consume enormous amounts of water and energy. The production of batteries is also energy intensive. In fact, building an electric vehicle can initially create more carbon emissions than manufacturing a traditional gasoline car. But that does not necessarily mean electric vehicles are worse for the environment. Over time, the lower emissions during driving can offset the higher emissions during production. In other words, the environmental impact depends on the entire life cycle of the vehicle. How the electricity is generated also matters. If the electricity charging the vehicle comes from renewable sources like wind or solar power, the environmental benefits can be significant. If the electricity comes primarily from coal-fired power plants, the advantage becomes much smaller. This is why the discussion about electric vehicles is often more complex than the memes suggest. The technology is evolving rapidly. Battery recycling processes are improving every single day. New mining techniques are being developed, and renewable energy is becoming more common in many parts of the world. But the larger lesson may be something deeper. Human solutions to global problems are rarely simple. Every technology involves trade-offs. Every solution brings new challenges. And sometimes a falling tree reminds us that nature still has a sense of humor. Electric vehicles may not be a perfect answer to environmental problems, but they are one step in a much larger journey toward cleaner energy and more sustainable technology. So the next time you see one of those memes about a tree crushing an electric car, you might laugh. But you might also remember that the real story is far more complicated. And like many things around the campfire, the truth often lies somewhere in the middle. If you enjoyed tonight's campfire conversation, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future stories. And if you have a topic you would like us to explore, leave it in the comments. Your ideas help keep the campfire burning. Pull up a chair, warm your hands by the fire, and remember, the fire never dies as long as people keep showing up. I'm Christy, and I'll see you next time.